class is now started. This is Josiah with each one teach one. We are going to be attending day 11 of IT Foundation and AWS Cloud Training, codenamed iFACT. This class is implemented by each one teach one, that is supported by Lockdown LLC. I hope everyone is doing okay, and I thank you guys for showing up to class today, and I appreciate you all. And today we'll be advancing our knowledge in the networking aspect of things. We've learned a few things, maybe the basic of networking. We talked about subnetting a little bit on a peripheral level, and we discussed classful and classless IP addressing. So the classful is classified according to A, B, C, D, and E, and most of the time we see B and C being used in private, and some part of the B are also used for public IPs. And we know that the class E is reserved, and we also understand how they are lined up, where the initial octets are occupied for certain classes. And as we've learned, we knew that for class A, it should be, how is class A supposed to be, guys? Remind me. It's supposed to be 0, right? Class B is supposed to be how again? 1 0. You guys can hear me, right? Class C is supposed to be 1 1 0. Class D is supposed to be 1 1 1 0. And class E is reserved, right? It's 1 1 1 1. At least that's what we suppose it should be. This. We suppose it should be that. So I also explained to you, when they do this, is actually a full representation of this. When they do it, they are saying that initial they have highs in the first octet, which is the leftmost octet. So it's actually they're trying to do this, represent all the 8 bits in the 4 octet. Okay. So this one, they are saying that this one, the first. Can you guys hear me?
Can you share your screen?
Oh, I forgot about that. I always do forget it. I'm really sorry, guys. Okay. I forgot about it. Okay, let's see if we'll be able to share it. It's not letting me share it. Oh, now it does. So, guys, remember the classes? Class A for classful IP addressing. So you have the A, which is 0. I kind of intimated you guys that they are trying to represent the 0 in the first octet. So each octet is about 8 bits, right? Right, guys? See, that's 8 bits right there. So I try to show you guys that each octet is like 8 bits. So they're trying to say that for this, the first octet is a 0. That means nothing is high. And at the same time, for this one, the first octet for this one has a 1 in it. That's what they're saying. Okay, guys? It's not complicated. They said, oh, this one has a 1 in it. You know that one represents 128. From what I taught you guys, you should remember that. So they're saying the same one too. This one has, not only is the first octet occupied, there's a 1 in it. The second octet is also occupied for class C. Okay, for class C, the second is also occupied. That's what they are telling us. Okay. So for B, this one is occupied. This one, second one is occupied. So you take note of the the leftmost bit in the octet. So for C, we have this, which I've already shown you guys. We have this. So For D, it should be this. For E, it should be this. But these are reserved, okay? These are reserved. But today, what we're going to do today that is different is we are going to lay out a network, and we're going to learn how to divide the network. I did send a video for everybody to look at so that you can get an understanding. So what we'll do it together, and then I'll make sure that individually everybody understands it, and I'll send out an assignment for everyone to do it. And then after we've done that, I will be satisfied that everybody understands how the network works, and we go into security. So I want you guys to also understand that this kind of addressing, classful IP addressing, is replaced by the classless inter-domain routing. It's being replaced by classless inter-domain routing. Okay, so this is the current one that's being used, but it all depends. It all based on this kind of IP addressing system or identification. Okay, it all depends on this one. So the classless one is more expansive, and you can do a lot more with it in any network, but they're still based on this one. So the classless one allows broker's domain to do amazing things. Like broker domains are like routers. Collision domains are switches. So it allows the broker's domain to do amazing things, sending um, things from one wide area network to another wide area network, which completely represents the internet. So you have the local area network. You build a lot of, you scale it up, and you represent it by a public IP. It becomes a one, and one to another one to another one. You become inter-network. Okay, inter-network. That means extended or outside networks that are connecting. So network is important to note what it is. We've already learned that. Now we're gonna do subnetting. Subnetting is a logical way of splitting a network into other smaller networks so that you can do IP addressing, whereby you can you can make sure that the flow of traffic works perfectly well. So subnetting is a logical way of doing it, and we'll learn that today, and we're not in a rush to learn it. So let's get started here. So before we start, I will like to show you guys an interesting table. For those of you that watched that video, you should see that table is excellent. It does work, and we will represent that table here. And I like to do things by experience. I just don't want to come up with things. I want to do it so you guys can see it, so that way you be like, yeah, sure, he did it, so we can do it too. So that's how we're gonna do it. So I want to divide this into I divide it into these rows. Divide it into rows like this. Yep. Then I just gotta name the rows that I'm dividing. So I'm gonna call this one subnet. Remember, subnet are smaller networks. Keep in mind, subnets. Look at it, subnet, sub network, subnet, subnetwork. So you have subnet. Okay, so it's not complicated. So that's that. So here, okay, that one is done. So here we're gonna put this one is gonna be okay. So we're gonna do this one is gonna be the host. Okay, and the next one is gonna be the subnet mask inside annotation. Alright, guys. Did any one of you watch that video? Yeah? Anybody? So host. So the hosts are the nodes that are going to be getting this IP, and I'm gonna show you guys how to split this IP accordingly. Split the network according to the subnet that is smaller networks in a already given network, so that you can optimize the number of nodes that you are given in that network. So you make sure that all of them get an IP that works. Okay. So now we're gonna do subnet mask. Here is gonna be the subnet mask inside a notation, I believe. So if we do the subnet mask, I choose another different color. Do subnet mask. So this is the subnet mask, okay? Usually they're inside a. Well, I'll just leave it like that. Okay. So we have that. So the trick here, there's a trick some guy named Sunny uses. I find it so easy. That's why I want to use that same trick with you guys so we can solve it effectively, and then we'll be on top of the game. I know some of us have been in the IT field for some time and we still struggle with subnetting. So today we're gonna try to fix that struggle that we have in subnetting. So we'll be fine by the time we're done. So I'm gonna split all this into 10 different places, I believe. So that way we can effectively use what we need to use. So this one I'm gonna use a green for it. I don't know if they're gonna be big enough, but we'll see. We'll see, guys. Let's see. We'll see. Don't worry. This table is very, very important, guys. See this table I'm drawing here? Very important table. So you have to know how to draw this table so you solve some of their problem. Some of you might be asking, why are we learning this? Are we gonna have it in cloud? Cloud already have its own IP. I understand, but what if you are doing it for a smaller company or a bigger company that already have a network on premise? So how do you make that work for yourself? So being able to study this table will help you. It is so easy to do it anyway. So to start off, you want to do this. You want to put a 1 here. You want to put a 1 here. So in a subnet, the way the computer works, it goes in the binary. Okay. And the same setup that I gave you guys, only that I'm going to add 256 this time. I'm going to add and make it up 2 raised to power 8 instead of 2 raised to power 7 that we had before. So now we're going to increase each of the numbers by 2. It's not complicated, and don't think it's hard at all. Oh, sorry. I got to use this instead of this. I got to use the pencil. So you do a 2, you do a 4, you do a 5. Oh, not a 5, you do a 8. Sorry. You have to increase everything. Double it. You do like a 16 here. You do like a 32 here. And you do like a 64 here. You do like 128. Yeah. And you do like 2, 5, 6. Yeah. So for the number of hosts, remember when I was showing you guys, I say the smaller the CIDR, the CIDR or the subnet mask. So it simply means that the more hosts you're gonna have. So let's do the subnet mask first. For subnet mask, this one will start from, I'll make it a little bolder. This one will start from 24/24, guys. Then /25. You can, if you know how to do this table, you're good. You can do any subnetting. You can solve any subnetting question and you'll be good. This is the simplest subnetting you can ever get. A lot of people complicate it, but I find this method is really cool. Okay. And we can also show by breaking it down into binary that this is also very cool when you break it down into binary. So you have, oh sure, let me go back here for a minute. So yeah, oh, bear with me, sometimes it's not coming out the way I want it. So you have 32 here, right? So remember, the smaller it is, the more hosts you'll have. So you reverse the subnetwork or subnet here. You start with 256. I'm going to change it to a different color. So you start with 256 here, and you go down. You go 128. Okay, you go 64. Guys, bear with me. Pay attention. Go through this with me. You'll be a champ later on. You'll be happy you did this. This, for people that has been in the IT field, takes them a lot of time to get, but there's more knowledge in the world now. People are figuring out better ways to do things. So once you have the table now, can somebody give me a Class C IP address, maybe IP address they have on their computer? You can do ipconfig all, and then you can give me an IP address there, and then I can tell you what the network is, and then from that network, we can decide if we want to use it, and we can say we want this much subnet for it, and then we figure out how much subnet, meaning how much smaller networks can we build from that particular network that we came up with. Does anybody have any IP address? If you give me the IP address, I can figure out the network, and I can tell you guys how I figured out the network. Anybody?
Yeah. 192.168.
192. That's Class C for sure.
168.
Mm-hmm.
The 1.
Mm-hmm.
The 111.
Okay, 111. So that's telling us that the first host there is 1. So that's telling me that the network is this. So this is the network, right? Now, from what I taught you guys last time, there's another way to represent this network, which is called binary. Can somebody do it? Supply it to me immediately so we can use it to confirm what we're doing, whether we're on the right track or not. So we have, let me put it in the center actually, so that way it will guide us through. So we have this one, and can somebody do 192? Another person do
Sam,
this. Yes?
before you move on, I have a question. At the end, when you did the subnet net,
Yes.
you have 256, but I don't know. I always think we should have 255 because when we add them all together, we get 255.
I was gonna tell you that I introduced one more. Remember, when I started off with you
Okay.
guys, I warned that, hey, there's something different here. Let me show you, okay? You asked a very brilliant question. I was not disappointed at all. Because I was telling you guys this, but somebody picked it out. Remember when I started with Chow, when I started teaching this subnet, pay attention, this is very interesting. Sometimes when you go and you get a job as an IT person, the people want to test your all well-rounded ideas. Remember, this is what I started off with you guys. It's 128, right? You guys remember? We never did the number 9. It's 128 that I did. We never did any number 9.
Yes.
We never did any number 9. It's 2 raised to power 7 that we stopped at. Because this is 2 raised to power 0, 1, 2 raised to power 2, 2 raised to power 3, 2, 2. This is 2 raised to power 0, 2 raised to power 1, 2 raised to power 2 here, 2 raised to the power 3, 2 raised to the power 4, 2 raised to the power 5, 2 raised to the power 6, 2 raised to the power 7. This is where I stopped with you guys. And I want to indicate that I stopped with you guys there by breaking that line. I'm going to break it so you guys will always remember, oh yeah, we never added the next level. Now here, I'm going to also indicate here by breaking this line again so you know. See, we started from that 120, 128 all the way down. We never talked about this 2 raised to the power 8. 2 raised to the power 8 is 256. But because I want you guys to understand how subnetting works, although you understand the scope of the octets, which forms 4 octets, which is 32 bits, that's how the net IP addresses are aligned so that we can have as many as more hosts. And also we can have the network IDs. You know, you have the network ID, you have the host ID. That helps you to understand the whole IP addressing process. But there are more stuff to it. More stuff to it are like what I'm showing you now. How do you determine number of hosts? How do you determine the subnet? I mean, given the subnet mask, how do you determine the number of hosts? Now, Agatha is given an IP address, which, because of my experience, I figured that if that's an IP address, for it to be a network, it has to start with a 0. And 0 has to be that particular network. Now, I don't know if I made myself clear as yet.
Very clear. Thank you. Very clear.
You're welcome. So the 256 is what we are introducing so we can solve the problem the way it's supposed to be solved. Can somebody give me a binary notation for 192 so I can put it here? That way we can conveniently solve this problem.
It's 1 1.
Okay, awesome. It's 1, another 1,
0
then I do a 0 here,
0
another 0,
0
0, another
0.
another 0,
Okay.
another 0, right?
Yes.
That would be it. So we got that. Okay, she did it. Anybody else? Somebody, please.
For 168.
Yeah, you can do 168, that's fine.
Okay, it's 101.
1, 0, 1,
0 1
1,
and then 0 0 0.
0, 0, 0. I don't need you guys help for 1. I already know what 1 is. That's easy. At least I know that much. 0, 0 is a 1. So 0 is 0, right? 0 is like this, right? 0, 0, 0. You guys get the idea, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's what they meant when you see that for class C you see 110. They're trying to tell you that this one is occupied. This guy is occupied. It has a 1 at the beginning of the left of the beginning of the octet, which is the leftmost bit is high. That's what they are telling you. Let me indicate it so everybody will know for class C. So this is what they were trying to tell you is 1 1. They're trying to tell you, oh, this is occupied. Okay. So once you get that, you see it's aligned up from what we've already learned that this is occupied 110. Oh, this is occupied. So now you know from this is occupied, but you don't know the network ID. But to know the network ID, Who can tell me what tells you where the network ID ends? Because you know it's class C, you know where the network ID ends. Can somebody tell me?
01.
Exactly. You know, it ends here. This is class C, right? You know it's gonna be, this is your dividing line. The network ID ends here. Yeah? So let me line it up so that it makes sense all through and through. I want you guys to understand the miracle of networking by heart. Because I know some of you guys are gonna do other stuff in life. This will be very helpful. See how I lined it up? Now it makes all sense. You see, you have that going through here. You have it going through here. Boom, boom, boom. You know, oh, this all is net ID. This side will be what then? What would this side be if this is net ID?
I think it should be the host ID.
Thank you very much. So because it's the host ID, we represent it with something different. So this is host ID for the class C, right? So we write host ID. So now here is the big part of what the problem we are about to solve. We are going to solve the problem using this, so that way in the future we can solve other problems. So now we have a table. The table can help us solve many other problems. Say this network that we just found that Agatha gave us, that we are working for a company, and the company, let's say the company is in the food industry, and they gave you an assignment as the new person that they hired for their cloud services, or maybe you are just an administrator, or you're just not just a networking guy, but you're just a tech that they got in to do some of the work for them. And they say, hey, look, we're in the business of we sell food, we have a restaurant, we have a couple of people as receptionists, that's the cashier area and the POS, and we have a couple of people at the back in the storage rooms. So you're talking about the storage room, you're talking about maybe three things or two things. You're talking about the storage room here, and you have the cashier, which is the front desk. hmm Okay, so maybe storage room and cashier. Let's just say two, okay? And maybe we should add one more. You have the storage room, you have the cashier, maybe you have Wi-Fi, public Wi-Fi, okay? Let's say public Wi-Fi, public Wi-Fi. So now they tell you to set up a network so that you have to cover, you have a set of IPs for the storage, a set of IP for the cashier, a set of IP for the public network. To do this, you know that all this departmental, all these segments will have something, like they will have the network ID, and they will have the subnet mask, and they will have the what useful host ID. Instead of just host ID, just say useful host ID, the ones that will be useful, because there are some host ID that are not used. They are useful, but they are not for any node. Like you have the first one, which is for the network, and you have the last one before the next network ID starts as the broadcast. So you need at least you need the broadcast ID, and then you need the ID, the range of IP. So subnet IP range, you need that. So to start off, you are thinking to yourself, How do I split this network? But they have given you a side annotation for it. They gave you a side annotation. It's not like a scope, right? So for this one, say they gave you /24, which is usually the case because /24 takes care of. It tells you right there is originally um, um, uh, class A, right? I mean class C, 24. So the network part is already taken care of. You can see right there is class C. However, to set this up efficiently, you have to go through a process. It's sort of like a predetermined process to help you do it well. So let's go like this. Let's do it like this. And we will plan it properly and we will do it efficiently well. So we want to get this much IP from this. So we want to get this much subnet. We want to get 3 subnets from this particular network that you see here. And we are giving /24 for it. We want to get all of that from this thing that you see here, and we're giving 24 for it. So now to get started, we already know what we need. Can somebody tell me some of the stuff we need here? I'll be writing them. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're gonna divide this into 5 because that's just about what we need. 1 here, 2 here. Maybe I should make it a little smaller. So you have 1 here, you have 2 here, that here, you have that here. Okay. So that is taken care of. So the storage is there, the cache is there, but it looks like it's gonna be more than what we asked for. But it's okay. Some of them will go to west. If they go to west, that's fine too, because you can't really have exactly three subnets, 3 different networks sometimes. Because if you look at the subnets section, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, but there's no 3. You guys get it? You guys get it? You were asked to split it into 3. It's one network, but you've been asked to split it into 3 different networks. And here at the subnet area, which tells you the logical splitting or logical division of a network to other smaller ones. Guys, let me know if you guys can hear me, please. It's important to me.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So now the split there, as you can see the split there, there's no 3. There's no 3 there. You see, there's no 3 there. But there is a 4. And you cannot go to 6. 6 will be too much. Right, guys? I mean, you cannot go to 8. 8 will be too much. Does it make sense? You can't go to 8. It's gonna be too much subnets. It's gonna be too much smaller networks that is gonna be there, and it's gonna be huge. You don't want that. And again, you are given the question says you need to come up with 3. That's what it says. Come up with this 3. That's it. It didn't say to come up with 4 or anything or whatever. It says come up with that 3. But you see here that there's no 3 in how the subnet mask subnet is set up in this system. But there is a 4, which is closer. So we pay attention at this. We want to pay attention at this one. This is closer to what we want. So we pay attention. No, not that one. This one is closer to what we want. Let me make it a little lighter so that it won't cover everything. So this is closer to what we want, right? So once you make this table, you see it's easy for you to actually do everything about the subnet of a particular network. So now from what we learned already, we know we need to have the network ID here. Okay. So we also know, can somebody tell me what more we need? There's host ID, there's the subnet, there's subnet mask, right? There's useful host ID. Let's just say instead of saying host ID, let's just say useful host ID, because not every host ID is gonna be useful for the purpose. You say number of useful host ID, right, guys? Right? Number of useful host ID.
Yeah.
So can somebody tell me what I said subnet mask? Can somebody tell me something else?
So the range.
The subnet range, you said?
Yeah.
Okay, let's put the subnet range then. Subnet range. Subnet range could be network range again, right? The host,
Yeah.
the host range. It could be the range of the host that particular subnet can take. So you can say the host range here. That's my own way of looking at it. That's just my way of looking at it. Okay, because the subnet, you have your subnet mask, you have the useful host ID. If you have a useful host ID which is inside the subnet, then what I said is correct. So now let's do the subnet mask, which subnet mask was given to us, I believe. Let's do that. We do the subnet mask here. It was given to us in side annotation. Or I could say I made it up or something. Okay? And then, so we did the range, we did the net ID, we did the subnet mask, we did the useful ID. What else is left? There's something important we need to do. Hmm? You guys remember broadcast?
Podcast. Yeah.
Broadcast IP, right? Or ID. Okay. So now from the table, there are a few things we know from the table. We know already number of hosts we can get, but we need useful hosts. Okay, so from this subnet mask, we already know is gonna be /26. It's right here. You guys see it with me. From that table, we know it's gonna be /26. So we put /26 for subnet mask all through. We put it all through. Okay, we put it all through. I'm gonna copy that all through. And I'm gonna provide another level because we notice that there's 4 of them. Although the question says to get 3, but we know it's 4. So let's do all the 4 of them so that you guys can have a clear understanding of what's going on. So copy. I'm gonna paste this here. So we're gonna do all 4 of them. Okay. So this here, we know they're all gonna fall into /26. You guys remember what /26 is? If you don't, I'll help you to get it. So it means again that the first octet, the last, not really the last octet, but I'll show you how it comes into play. I'll show you how it comes into play. Don't worry. Let me paste this and I'll show you how it comes into play. It's not hard. So we have slice 24, right? Under the host, the octet that have the host, it means that for slice 26, it means that you have one here and you have one here. This is subnet mask. So for subnet mask, for this is gonna be this. Yeah, this is gonna be full. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's telling you that all these are full. 5, 6, 7, 8. And it's telling you there's two more here. See? So there's two more here. So it's telling you that this is 255, 255, 255. There's still two more here. Okay? So that is why in subnet mask for this is usually 255, 255, 255.0 for class C. So now from here you can see there's more here. That is why you have this. For slice 25, you have to remove this. Okay? Then you have slice 25. For slice 24, that which was what was given to us originally, is like this. But because we can't use slice 24 because we have to account for the host. Slice 24 we apply in this case if the host is 0, which is just the network. But if we have to add nodes to the network, so we have to have a starting network, which for this one is 0. For the next one, we're gonna figure out what it's gonna be. Okay? For this network, it's gonna be a 1 assigned to the network. For the subnet, for the network you're looking at is a .0. That's the network. But for the subnet, it's gonna start from a 1. Okay? Then you know that's that's the beginning of that network. Okay, let's go on to the next thing that I have here. So give me a minute. Yeah, that's something I missed. Making sure. Okay. So now with that being said, we know this one. So the network ID, we also know, right? This one is gonna start from what? Somebody help. Hmm? It's gonna start from 0. That's the network in it. So we're gonna have 192. You have 192.168.1.0. So what's gonna be the next one from what we have here? Number of hosts. What's gonna be the next one for the number of hosts? You have to add the number of hosts to get the next one. Somebody? Come on, I'm waiting. We know here the host, the number of hosts we're supposed to have. That's right, it's 64. So the IP we already have is 192.168.1.64. So the next one, the next one, 192.168.1. What? Come on, someone. If you don't get, what is it?
34.
Huh?
34?
No. The host
I
is,
said it's
no, it's telling us that the host is going, the host for this subnet is going by 64. So that means you add 64.
64 plus 64. Okay.
Okay, so
128.
it's one.
128.
That's right.
128.
That's right. It's 128. So it's going by 64. Each of the network is going by 64. So the next one is gonna go by. It's gonna 128. What is it gonna be?
192.
Exactly.
192.
That's right.
192.
192. That's what it is.
192.
So that's what it is. See,
Yes.
we took care of that. The information that helped us to take care of that, we found it right here because they told us to split the network into three, but there is no three. The closest to three moving forward is a four. You can't go to two because two will give you two subnets for that particular IP address, which is class C. Therefore, we refuse to take two because it doesn't meet what we want. However, format what we want and a little extra IP is gonna go to West. That's fine, but we have what we want. So from there, we know that the host is gonna be 64, is gonna be going by 64. Alright? So we got that. But the question is, what is the useful number of useful hosts? And can somebody tell me what they are and why is that way?
Useful.
I think Janelle knows this.
So number of useful hosts, 20.
I can't hear you.
Wrong. Honestly, I'm not sure. Honestly.
Well, remember last time you said that you know that the first one will be the network and that the last one will be the broadcast. Remember?
Yes, I do remember that.
So if the first one is going to be the network and the last one is going to be the broadcast, 64 minus 2, what are we going to get? Is that correct? So that means
Okay.
the useful ones will be minus 2 from the number of hosts because the first one, because we have a network which ends with a 0. We know it's a network, but we want to split it into smaller networks, which means we want to have a network in a network. So now we have 62 all through for all of them because that is the size each of that network is going to be. Because we took a whole network and we keep splitting them to equal sizes because that's how IPs, how network subnetting is designed. Is designed to have finite numbers. It doesn't have 0.5 or 0.2. They are binary. Okay, so this is what we have for the useful host of IP. But how do we get the IP range now? Can somebody rack their brain now and give me the IP range? And remember, for class C, where it starts and where it begins. Remember, class A we end at 120 what 127, and the new class B will start from 128 and ends at what 191, and the new class C, we start from 192. So with that in mind, can you figure out the range of the host? Now you know there's gonna be minus 2 out. So from what you have now, you already know the network ID is this. From what you have now, so how is the subnet range? How is it gonna start?
So is your host range from 1 to, is it 61?
Did you say
I
1?
know it's like 1. Yeah,
Okay. 1 to what?
60.
Huh?
Is it 60, 61 or 62? 63 maybe?
Class A is 127.
No, we know that, but we are talking about the range from what we know, from what we learned so far. how do we see the range of this network? We've already been told that each of these network subnet to be precise is gonna have 62 useful host IDs, and we also learned that there are two that are not used from that 64. And we know is the first one, which is assigned to that network. That network has to have initial, the beginning IP address, which is going to be a 1. And then there's also a broadcast, which is going to be an IP address right before the next subnet. Now, with that information in mind, tell me the range of this.
63?
Did you say 63?
Yeah.
Absolutely, that's it.
But I thought your broadcast would be the 63.
Oh, you are right. It's gonna be 62. Broadcast is 63.
Yeah.
It's gonna be 62. You're right. Thank you for correcting that. I love that. So now that tells us the broadcast is 63. Remember, the broadcast is the IP right before the next network, the next subnet. So now the broadcast is gonna be 63 for this one. Now make sure I put the 63. Thank you. I love that. Working together is awesome. 63, right?
Yes.
So now the next one is gonna be what? I leave this one alone to you guys. What is gonna be range here?
65
65 to what?
to 120.
Huh? 126 you said?
Yeah.
Did you say 126?
Yes. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. You kind of low, but you know, it's always nice to hear you. Okay.
Sorry.
So what is the broadcast then?
127.
Is everybody following? Broadcast is the IP right before the next subnet. Always the IP right before the next subnet, or the next subnet minus one IP, one IP address, or minus one. Or there's another way you can do it. Since you already know the useful IP addresses, right? Why don't you just add 62 to this one? I mean, why don't you add 64 to this one? You already know all the the subnet, the size of the subnet. Why don't you add it to 63 to get the next one? So if you add 63 to that one to get the next one, you realize you're getting 127. Does this make sense? I showed you about 3 ways to get it, or 2 ways to get it. 3 ways actually. So the next IP address right before subtract 1 from the next IP address to get the broadcast of the IP address before it. Like if you subtract 1 from here, you get the broadcast for this subnet. Or you can add 64, which is the size of the subnet, to the broadcast you already have, and you get the next one. So for instance, if we add
127.
If you add 64 to 127, what do we get?
191.
191? So with 191, okay. So with that being said, when you look at the next subnet, is it correct? From what I told you guys, when you look at this subnet, is it correct?
192.
That's right, it's correct. It will start from 192. If it will start from that 192, it tells us that this broadcast has to be correct. Because if you subtract 1 from 192, if you subtract 1 from 192, you will get the broadcast IP address. And now, with that being said, what is the range here for this particular network? This network here. What is the range?
It has to be 128, right?
No, what is the
128?
range from what number, from what IP address to what IP address?
63.
From what IP address to what IP address?
128? 128?
29,
127.
128.
128, right?
Somebody got it. I heard somebody say 129. Who said 129? 129 to, you know what it is. Come on, somebody. Huh?
90.
190, absolutely. So from here, what do we do on this one? This is easy now. Everybody got it a little bit.
It would be 192.
193.
Okay, 193. That's right.
Oh, you still have to add.
193 to what?
254.
Absolutely. So then what is the broadcast? She gave it away already.
192.
No, what's the broadcast for this?
255.
That's right, 255. You guys got it. You guys are awesome. 255 is the broadcast. So now we have what we need to make this network work. So we can say, let's use okay, we can say let's use this one for storage. Maybe we use this one for the public, the Wi-Fi, and we use this one for the cashier. And we say we're not gonna use this one. That's okay. We're not using this one. Does it make sense?
Yes.
So we can say, okay, let's use this one. We know the network ID is this. Let's use from 1 to 62 as the range. Once that is full, we go and we use the 64. Okay? And now I want you guys to know when I write this 62 here, what I meant to write is this. I hope you guys know. What I meant to write is 192.168.1. Oh, sorry, that's number of useful host ID. So what I wanted to say is when I say the range, I'm trying to say 192. Do you guys understand what I'm trying to do? Should I continue? .1.1 all the way to 62. That's what I'm doing. Does it make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay,
Can you
I'm
say
not
that
just.
again?
So when I write from 65 to 126, I meant 192.168.1.65 to 192.168.1.126. That's what I meant by the range. Does it make sense? I would like to get your feedback on this, guys.
Can you say that one more time, please?
Okay, when I write this, or you see me right here, what I meant to do is this. What I meant to do is to write 192.168.1.1 all the way to 192.168.1.62. That's what I meant to write. This is what I meant to write. When I write that 1 to 162, this is what I meant to write. Maybe I should go back and rewrite it so it makes sense. Bear with me here. Let me rewrite it so it makes sense. So we'll be all on the same page. I'll make it smaller, guys. Okay, so we do 192.168.1.1 all the way to 192.168.1.62. This is what I meant to write. Does it make sense now? Does it make sense?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
that means the first computer that is on this particular network, subnet, will get 1. And the last computer will get a 2. You get it? Because the subnet will be this. The network for the subnet will be this whole thing. Then the first computer will get a 1. Or the first computer will get a 1. And then this one we get the next one we get a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to 62. So the broadcast 63 is gonna be a broadcast, and the 0 is gonna be for the network. So when you add the 2 to the 62, 1 to 62, it gives you 64, which is the host, number of hosts that could be had. So the number of hosts that could be had could be 2 raised to power of that particular subnet. So 2 raised to power 4 is 2 times 2, 4. 2 times 2, 4, right? 2 times 2, 4, 4 times 2, 8, 8 times 2 is what? 16. And 16 times 2 is 32. So it depends on the size of the subnet, which is here, slash 26. Okay? Slash 26. So with that being said, when you see the slash 26, which is this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. So 6 raised to 2 raised to power what? 2 raised to power 6, right? Right, guys? So 2 raised to power 6 will give you 64. So that's how it's going. 2 raised to power 6 will give you 64, and that's how it's going. If you look here, it's 2 raised to power 0, 2 raised to power 0 is 1, 2 raised to power 1 is 2, 2 raised to power 5 is 32, and 2 raised to power 6 is 64. And that's how it's going. So when you add that number of hosts together, it's 64, but you know the network will take 1, the broadcast will take 1, the useful ones will be 62, which is 1 to 62, and that's what we have here. The ranges are running from here. After the network, the IP address after the network, and the IP address right before the broadcast. Then the next IP address will now go to the next subnet. So this is what we've learned today. And I don't know if anybody has a question to ask.
Yeah, please, can you give a little recap on it again, please?
Yeah, sure. We'll do it again.
Yeah, and then emphasis should be placed on why you decided to highlight the subnet for 64 and then slash 26. I didn't really get that.
Oh, okay. No problem at all. You get it now. So remember the question asked for 3 subnets. And we created a table that will help you to answer or solve any subnet question in the future. This is the first table you're going to create. And with that being said, you do know that you're going to have a network ID, and there's going to be number of host IDs, and there's going to be subnet range, and there's going to be a subnet mask, which in this case was given insider notation instead of the binary like this. It's given insider notation. And there's going to be a broadcast IP. These are what makes the component of a working network. Now, to get a subnet, the question is get 3. You were given 3 different scenarios of where people work, and you want to segment these 3 scenarios. To segment that in a network, you need a subnet, meaning given this network here, split this network into 3 subnets. However, based on the table we have, there is no 3, but there is a 4. So with that being said, under 4, the subnet 4, meaning a network split into 4 different subnet of the same size, meaning the scope are the same or the range are the same in size, which in this case we find out to be 64 because it's right here. Number of hosts, 64. Okay? Number of hosts, 64, but that's not useful number of hosts. That's just the total number of hosts. but there are useful ones which the nodes are going to use. Okay, so now we understand the 4, we understand the 64s. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Thank you. Now, under that, you see a SATA notation, which is a classless interdomain routing notation /26, which I try to explain here, that the /26 came from the fact that the first 3 octets adds up to 24 bits. And then if you add one more here and one more here, what are you getting? You get 2 more high bits, leftmost bit that are high, that's 26. That tells you the network ID has changed to include this extra bits. Therefore, the host ID will start from here. Apparently, this works for us. Okay, only that this extra IP is gonna get lost. I'll highlight the IP that's gonna get lost. Only that this whole IP here is gonna get lost. If you notice, we didn't use it. That's the wasted one. Let me highlight it. Okay, I'll just write here unused. This makes sense? This is unused based on the question posed to us. It's not because it cannot be used. It's based on the question that we were given. It remained unused. It was not used. So we use all these other ones, and they were all split into equal sizes. As you can see here, we can add up to 62 nodes here, another 62 here, another 62 here. Okay, so if say you have let's say 150 computers in your company, this will work. Say you have 180 computers in your company, this is gonna work. Say you have 185 or 186 computers in your company, this will still work. Say you have 240 computers in your company, this will still work. Say you have 248 computers in your company, this will still work. But if you have 249 and 250 computers in your company, will this work? Hello, guys?
Yeah, I'm with you.
So if we have 149 or 249 or 250 computers in our company, will this work?
249.
Yeah.
Are you sure? Remember, we have 4 different subnets, each 62 useful IP ranges. Add them all together and see what you get.
Okay. Number of useful 62, 62, 62, 62. 62 times 4. 62 times 4 plus 600. 248.
So will 249 and 250 work then?
Yes.
How?
I mean, no, it won't because it only adds up to 248.
Thank you. That's it. So
It won't work.
next time your boss can come and say, we have 1,000 computers in this company. Go ahead and scope out the subnets that will contain those IP addresses. This is why you have to know about subnet. Don't say, oh, in the cloud, subnet is already done for you by the MSP. It's already done for you by all of that. You need to know it because you're gonna be working with network teams, server teams. You need to know this so that when you're talking to them, you can even show them, hey, you can do this. It won't be a problem because you have the knowledge of subnetting without going to the internet. You can do it in your head. Just set up the tables like we did. So that's going to be a homework on this. And before we continue, I would like to know where everybody's at with the previous homeworks. and where everybody's at with the security. And I really want to plead with you guys to work with me. I am really all about making this thing work for all of us. I am passionate about what we are doing. I do understand the changes that is about to come. That is why I took it upon myself to do this. There's going to be a new dispensation coming in the nearest future. Most of the jobs that you have out there, they're going to go away. I'm sorry to tell you. They will go away, and most of our people are on the front line. And it is not good for us. A lot of commercial buildings are not going to be occupied in times to come. And people that are staying home and working from home will be at home for a long time. I call it IT husbandry. There's going to be a lot of work in the field, and they're going to need people to do it. And these people, you guys are going to be the people that's going to be doing it. Dispensation requires that people don't touch each other no more. People are not going to be in close proximity anymore because of COVID-19. And in order for us to continue and foster the new paradigm or the shift in the in our social life, the tech companies are now going to carry on their weight of this burden, and they're gonna start flexing their muzzle, throwing their weight around and saying, "Yeah, we told you guys a long time ago. Technology can solve a lot of problems. Now is the time. Let's go solve these problems." Guess what? They need you guys to make that happen. So what are the fields that you think that's gonna take off? That it's already taking off right now?
All the cloud jobs. Yay.
All the cloud jobs, they're already taking off. Every day I'm getting calls from companies, thousands of companies calling me this, that, but I have a different focus. I know what I wanted to achieve. And all these jobs can go to you guys. All the cloud jobs, all the artificial intelligence job, all the security job, security and cloud go hand in glove. Okay? All these jobs are out there. All the tech jobs, all the audit jobs, all the compliance jobs, they're gonna be there years to come. They are going to be there for years to come. So those who have the experience and those who recognize the fact that these technology change all the time, and therefore we have to change our strategy and how we learn. Those who are at home learning are smart because that technology is gonna keep growing. And guess where it's built on? It's built on the cloud. The meeting, the software for meeting, go to meeting or whatever, they're all built on the cloud. And those who know how cloud works and that can support the developers in the cloud through many use cases like CI/CD that we are learning, those are gonna do well. You are going to have a job. That's no if and or but. They will give you the job because you have a knowledge of the job and you've trained yourself for it. And there's many people in Walmart. Most of our people in Walmart, those jobs are gonna go away. The cashiers in the Walmart are gonna go away. The robots are gonna go and put stuff in the on the shelf. Robotics, they're gonna do all of that. Okay, so those in the front line, the health, like the CNA, RN, they're gonna have robotics. Yeah, they're gonna have robots. They're gonna be lifting people up. And those in the gig economy, like Uber Eats, Uber this, Uber whatever, those jobs are gonna go away. You know why? They're gonna have cars doing the delivery. See, they're gonna have cars doing the delivery. Okay, even grocery shopping, all of that, food industry, all of that. As you guys can see right now, you order the food online and you go in and pick it up, or you have Uber to come get it to you. That will tell you in your mind where the world is going. So the skills you're getting right now is gonna help you. Those who are in that know how to fly drones, they're gonna get a job. Drone pilots are gonna be needed. Drones are gonna be hot. That's where your mind should be going. You can't be like, oh, I don't care. It doesn't really matter. Nothing is going to change. It's going to be the same. They're just talking. No, you're telling yourself lies. They have technology today that's quite well developed. Most of them are being used in China. Why do you think China have no, well, I wouldn't say this. Why you think things happen the way it happened? Because people are gonna make money out of it. So we have to, you know, realign ourselves to what's happening. We have to readjust ourselves and go back to the drawing board and retreat and come right back. So with all of that being said, you can see that technology is gonna do a lot more. Cloud, I put cloud first. I put data science second, then machine learning and deep learning. Well, it's a part of machine learning, but it's more in, it's deeper and more. It's encompassing. It has a lot more to it. And then I put IT auditors are going to be needed. Digital techs for digital maintenance of digital devices and all of that. The programmers are always going to be needed. If you can write or code anything, you're good. They're going to be needed, and we um, yeah, the help desk, IT techs are going to be needed, help desk or whatever. If you work at a grocery shop where, I mean, if you're shopping in a grocery shop, all of a sudden the machine don't work or something went wrong, you need to push that button, and guess what? A tech will show up from nowhere and help you out because that's needed because every now and then something is going to break down. Okay, so these are what I'm thinking, and these are what I want you guys to understand. Don't think you're wasting your time here, coming here. As a matter of fact, you will thank me one day when you look back at how the journey started. I say, man, this is just a starting point for you. You will take it to another level. It's gonna be a point you don't need me no more. You will just say, huh, forget that. We know what we're doing right now. It's normal. I used to be under somebody's tutelage too. I learned from other people. I used to be under somebody's tutelage. And when I got good, I moved on. And I respect where I got the knowledge from because they were there for me at that time. So it's just a beginning for you. So I want to know if there's anybody else that have more question on this. I'll post this for everybody to take a look at where we post stuff so that those that didn't show up will have it basically. And I also would like to know if there are any difficulties with the introduction to some of the tools that I've given to you guys because we need those tools right before we go into doing some work in Python. We'll do a few stuff in Python, and I want to know how you guys are doing in general. And I'll pass it on to you guys to start talking and telling me how you guys are doing.
In general, can you hear me? For me, it's really a challenge, but I've been glad to take the class.
You sound a little low.
Okay.
Okay, I had an issue trying to upload the folder into the S3 bucket. I got the result that the file indicated by the file path property doesn't exist. And I configured it using the AWS configure method and everything. I still couldn't upload the JPEG file I needed.
So the problem is from your side. You needed to create a temp folder. In that temp folder, and in the other one, I guess you are putting a backward slash somewhere, and that's why it's showing you that. I don't know how your code looks like, but from what I'm seeing here, at the PSC temp, you put a PSC temp or something like that. If you check what I have in the book, make sure it matches what I have in the book. If you match it with what I have in the book, you should be okay. Okay, I see you have a file here. Oh, that's Natalie's stuff. That's not yours. Sorry about that. Do you have a screenshot? Do you have a screenshot of yours so we can look at it and help you?
Okay, let me send it to Riot.
Send it to Riot. Yeah, send it on there so everybody will look at it. So most of the people here have already done it. I'm sure all of them have been able to upload something to the bucket. Is there anybody here who hasn't uploaded their stuff to the bucket? Come on, don't be shy. Talk to me. You haven't uploaded your stuff in the bucket? Let me know.
I did the one up to the bucket, but I didn't see, when I went back to look for the other option, I didn't see it. And there were two
Oh,
ways
that
you
means
gave it.
maybe you overlooked something. Not a big deal. You can always check it again and correct it.
Okay.
So when you go to PowerShell, let's see here, PowerShell. Always run it as admin like I do. It hardly give me a problem when I do that.
Where do I get this? How do I get this?
So I'm looking at Edicon's bucket. There's nothing in it yet, but very soon. Edicon,
Yeah.
there's something in your bucket. July 7th. Oh, that's the old thing. Don't worry about
Yeah,
it.
that's the new thing.
That's the old thing. It's not the new one. Okay, fine, cool. That's the one you did manually through the GUI.
Yes. Yeah.
So this one now, you have to do it remotely. Not really remotely, through the SDK. That's what this one is all about. So if you look at the text or the guidebook, and you take a look at the guidebook, it shows you clearly or whatnot. But what I find most people do is they won't go and they put / in there somewhere, like somebody I know did, and they have issues. Then when you correct it and set up the subfolder the right way, then without those slashes, then you should be okay. So we take a look at your stuff quickly, and we all will take care of it, and we'll move to the next thing.
Okay, I've uploaded it.
Yeah, I see you sent it, so I'm looking at something here before I even start. Did you use this document here to set it up?
Yes.
You
Yes, I
used
did.
this document?
I watched the preview. Yes, I watched the preview.
You watched the video too, right? Okay.
Yes, I did. I did it accordingly.
And let's see. Okay, he said he watched the video. And did you see the steps that Agatha provided for you guys?
Yes, I did too.
This step here. Okay, her step was excellent. And she provided the two of them. So maybe the problem should be somewhere else. Let's see what you're doing wrong. Oh, okay. Let's see what you got. Oh, somebody already figured out what was wrong already. That's awesome. Okay. It says file indicated by the 5-path property. Oh yeah. Okay. Temp, JPEG, private, right, bucket name, Edicon bucket, Edicon. Hey, is that name the same? Is that okay? Is that your bucket name?
Yes, that's my bucket's name.
Okay.
Edican's bucket.
Okay, we got that. And let's see the next thing. And you have your private access key there. Do you have secret key there?
Yes, I had to cut it out.
Where is the secret key? Oh, you cut it out. Okay. I got you.
Josiah,
Yes?
mine did that the same too when we were doing it in our group, and I think it's under the canonical ID, because when you go into the canonical ID and then save it, and then you click, you go to the circle that says everyone, and then you write down the object, and then you have to click read bucket permission and save, and then I think it will make it say, instead of private, it will make it say
right.
public.
Let's take that approach. So the approach, what she's saying is your problem is permissions. So let's look at your permissions and access control and see what you set it up as. Once we look at that, we proceed. I think she is almost there. Go to everyone group, and it looks like your permission there, right?
That's right. Because let's see.
So the canonical ID looks all right here, which is here.
Oh, it looks good.
It looks, yeah, it looks, yes, yes, yes. That one looks good. So
Then
canonical
if
ID
it's
is good for that one.
then maybe it's the
I think it's
S3
in.
log delivery.
I think his problem looks like it's from everyone. There's no
Everyone.
access for everyone.
Oh, okay. So we did canonical ID, saved, then we did everything, right object.
So try it again now.
Let's see. It could be.
Yeah,
It
try it
could
again now.
be.
Let's see. Okay,
Oh,
Edicon, because
Yeah.
if we try somebody else's, I'm sure it's gonna
yes.
be different from yours. So let's try somebody
Okay.
else's. I'll suggest that we try maybe Asiat or whoever. We try theirs so you can see for yourself what they have. So we go to permissions that they set up, and I don't think
Yes.
you have. Okay, we go to access. You see, there's yours missing something. You see, you don't have it. So you go to access.
Um.
Go to your access control list and fix it. I think that's where your problem is.
Yes. Excuse me, Josiah.
Yeah.
After. Excuse me, Josiah. After he goes to the read bucket permissions and save it, when he goes to the S3 log delivery, and then after that, if he clicks on all, that will make it right. If he clicks, it says log delivery and then save. You have to click on all of them, and then that way it'll take it away, and then it will be correct.
Okay, that one is good too. But what that does is it logs all the uploads and downloads for you. It has nothing to do with whether you can write or not write on the bucket. But on public access, for instance, you see here, whoever owns this, I think it's Asiat, she can write to this bucket, but she can't list on this bucket, meaning she can't see everything else that's on that bucket. But we can change that if we want. Normally, I
Yeah,
like to say read bucket permission and write bucket permission.
but I
Yeah.
could only choose right. That's why I chose right.
Yeah,
So
you
can I
chose
then
you chose
choose,
right for the object,
because that's the
right?
only choice I had, or that's the only one I could
No,
choose.
that's
So
the
can I
one.
also do read?
That's not the only one you could do. I can see everything here. You can do more,
Okay.
but based on what you are doing, I guess you chose write object, so you can write the object. Maybe you can upload object. Okay, so
Can
you
I
have
also
access
do
to the,
read?
but you don't have access to the buckets. Access to this bucket ACL. You don't have access. That means you can't set permission in that bucket list, which is good. You don't have access to it. That means if anybody else get your secret key, they don't have such access, but they can upload stuff to it. All right.
Okay,
But
Yes.
so
I think you need to have a read for the bucket
but I can.
permission so you
That's
can
what I.
know what the bucket
Okay.
permissions are, at least
Okay. Thank you. Okay.
for
Now
you. All right.
I couldn't do it when I was doing it. Okay.
All right, fine. So let's go to I think we should go to Agatas and see how it's set up. Can somebody shut up there? Okay, thank you. So let's go back here. Okay, let's go to Agatas here. After that, we go back to Edicons and set it up properly. So when we go to permissions here, we click on permissions for for Agatha. You see here, Edicon. I think your problem is here though. You have to go to access control list and uncheck everything. Okay,
Okay.
do it first, and then we get back to you. Now I'm gonna go into Agatha's stuff. You can see here she have yes, 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 and on the group, everyone yes can write, everyone can read, which is awesome. And for log, write, read bucket. You can write, you can read bucket. This is excellent. So this is how it's supposed to be set up, like that. Now, let's go back to some of us and see what we have set up. I know Rolanda is going to remember everything there because she has a photographic memory. So when we go to permissions here, and we go to access control list. So Rolanda she checked it off properly here. Like hers, when I look at hers, okay, let's go back to here. I move a little too fast. So the only thing she have a little too much, okay? She have the list objects, yeah, and she also have write bucket permissions. I don't really want somebody to write bucket permissions. So like this, this is good enough. See? Now for everyone, same thing, and then for canonical is all of it. So this is good. So that's just about right. So if we go back here, we go back to S3. Let's check Edicons to make sure Edicons got it right. We don't hear anything from Natalie today. Is everything all right, Natalie? Okay, Edicon set everything up right here. So let's go into the access control list and see. Okay, it has yes, yes, and he still have all these yeses here, which not really good. So I can help him out by get rid of this one and get rid of right, yeah. Okay, this is all good. So for log, if you want log delivery, you can read and you can write, and it should be just fine. Yeah, that's done. So what did Edicon get now? The file indicated, but oh, this is an old one. Yes, thank you. Oh, okay. Edicon.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, get what how is it now?
Okay, let me try again.
All right, good. So it's only Edicon left. Everybody else took care of theirs. Let's see. Okay. And I hope you're in the right location for your IM user. Don't forget to send out your screenshot.
Okay.
So this one, not yet. Let me look at your screenshot again. Maybe I'll see something nobody saw. Look at it again. The file indicated by the file path property does not exist. So do you have a temp folder, Edicon?
Yeah. We have the temp folder.
Where is it at?
On my, hold on.
Is it on C?
Yes, it's on C.
Okay, if it's on C, that looks good.
And then the name of I saved it as mypic.jpg.
Are you sure the extension that it is, the actual extension is JPG? I don't think so. Go back to the extension. It probably is JPEG, like JPEG.
Okay.
That's why it's not finding it. Something is wrong. It doesn't exist, it says.
JPEG.
Check that picture. If it's JPEG, then you change it to JPEG. If not, it's not going to find it.
JPE.
Check if it's JPEG or like JPG or JPEG.
Decide. So how do you share the screen with the private?
Beg your pardon?
How do you share the screen? Because we're trying to share the screens the other time. We couldn't do it. How do you see that?
Okay.
Somebody's trying to share the screen so we can see.
Okay. I'll share the screen with you guys now. No problem.
So like if Erica wants to share the screen so we can see.
So this is the screen here. So let me go back and show you Agatha's stuff. So this is so this is Agatha's here. Everybody can see, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is Agatha's. When you go to permissions here, you see? So the block all public access is off. And that's how yours looks. No problem. That's fine. So now when we go in here, this is what it looks like for the canonical, and then for everyone and for log delivery. That's what it looks like. So we go to yours. Yours looks the same way. If yours looks the same way, then the only thing we can talk about now will be whether the name is actually the name that you have there, or the extension is not. Like for instance, I go here and I go to public access. You have that up, and this one is correct. Yes. Oh, this one is not correct. It doesn't have this one here. It doesn't have the read. It's a right object, read public permission, save. Okay, now it has that. Okay, so yours is like every other person's, I believe. Now, and did you check the name of the picture, please?
Yeah.
What is it? The
Name
extension?
of,
The file extension?
okay, just a second.
Just right click, look at the properties right there. Just do this. Like even if you do this and try to save it, it will show you. Okay?
Okay.
Save as. It will show you. Like let me save this one just in case. JPEG should be this. I don't think you have the right thing there, to be honest. I could be wrong, but I know sometimes people do it this way, but you have to do it according to what is saved as for this to work. You know? So we have the subnetting here. I save it under pictures. Did somebody solve the problem already? She says she found it by accident. Especially when I'm not sharing the screen. Any one of you can share the screen, but when I'm sharing it, then it's difficult for you guys. Because when I start the session, if I'm the first person that log into the section, I have the admin's right. But if I'm not the first person, then I can't have no admin's right. The first person that logs in gets the admin's right. I hope that makes sense. So Eddie Kong, what is the file thingy extension now?
.jpg.
That's what you saved it as?
Yes.
Okay, try okay, let me see. If you try JPEG, what do you get?
Okay, hold on.
Like mine, I did just save this one. I said subnet. Let's give it a minute. You see, I did okay. This one said subnetting JPEG. Peg, try JPEG and let's see what happens, please.
Okay.
JPG. Because when I go to the temp file folder that I have here, I'll show you guys. And I go to the temp, which, yeah, this is the temp that I have. And I saved this as JPEG. Oh, okay. Probably right. I saved it as JPG. JPEG. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Oh, let's think again. Why is it not working for you?
Okay, you know what? Can you do it over again? Let me see. Maybe in case I missed out something.
Uh, can I do it again now?
Yeah, would it be possible?
Oh, it would not be possible, but okay, let's see. CD, CD. All right, initialize default access. Da, da, da. So, initialize configuration access and all of that. That's what I did. I'm not gonna do it exactly as we have it in the book. Okay, I'm just gonna
Okay.
do it really fast so we can go to the next thing. I've already initialized it. I'm just gonna go ahead and upload. Get module. Da 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 da. Econo. Import module. Set the execution policy. I'll just go ahead and upload.
Somehow I can't see your color shade. Is it just me alone or everybody else?
No, you're not seeing my screen now because
Oh,
I haven't got to where I need you to see it. That's why. So I will get where I need you to see it shortly. You notice I just initialized right away. All I want to do is upload the file because we already done it before, right, guys? Okay, I think I'm gonna work with this one. I'm gonna try to upload this, right? Okay. The file indicated by the file path property does not. I have the same problem with you. So now we're gonna figure it out. Lockdown tells 5 da 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 da. Lockdown tells connect public access da 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 da.
you're supposed to be copying
I think
the
I know your problem now. So you have to go to that directory, okay?
Okay.
You have to go here. If you do it from here, then it will find it. Before it wasn't able to find it, so it will fail in principle. Now it finds it, it's gonna upload. Oh shoot. The bucket you are attempting to access must address using the specified endpoint. Please send all future requests. Can somebody tell me what's missing here? I think Agatha had this problem. She know the answer.
So yeah, that says must be addressed to the
So we missed a bunch of steps. That's why. So if we go back to the steps, we will get it right. So let's just go and do it. We're not gonna be lazy anymore. Let's do it. Let's go here. Let's find the steps. We're gonna use the steps that you guys wrote up. I think it's Agatha that wrote that step up. So we're gonna use her step. We're gonna go step by step. Okay? I've already set execution policy signed. It's not gonna change anytime soon. import module, AWS PowerShell. I think I have it in my profile. New item, I'm not gonna do it. I've already built the profile. So I started from initialize, but when I started from initialize, I missed something, which is the next step. I missed git command module PowerShell CD. And yeah, the location was, oh, in mind, if I had location in mind, yes, there was a location here when I initialized here. And then initialize, yeah, I did that, got that right. So I missed this step. Yep, I missed this one step. So I'm gonna come back here and put that step. Actually, didn't copy what I wanted to copy. Yep. So I'm gonna come here and put the step here. The step is gonna go in here V, and I'm gonna go like that. So it's gonna do that step, hopefully. So once that step is done, it did the step, as you can see right here, it did it. It did it. I'm not moving fast, just take a look, it did it. Right? So I'm in the temp folder right now. So if I'm in the temp folder, I have to do the next step, which is here, the 12th, which I can go ahead on and bring up, which is the 12th. The 12th. It says, let me make sure everything rhymes up.
Yes, I think you said
Beg your pardons?
I see public instead of private. Right before access key, you said public. It's supposed to be public or private.
Thank you. It's private. It's private. Awesome.
Okay.
Somebody can see. Wow, you guys are amazing. So this one is, I said private there, but that one is no good anyway. So let me use this one. Let me use this one, okay? This one is logged on test, private access key, Okay, let's do it. It's taking too long. It looks like it's not gonna work. Let me look at this. Right object, bucket name, private, secret. If it's already back over there, it's not gonna work either. So let's go back and delete it over there. Okay, so I'm working with this lockdown test, right? So if it's already here, it's not gonna work because it's already there. It won't work. So this is a temp. Okay. So I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna delete it. I'm gonna go action. We're gonna go delete. We're gonna say delete. Gone, right? There's nothing here anymore. Nothing there anymore. Yeah, there's nothing here anymore, right? Let's go back. There's nothing there. All right, let's go back and send it again. So let's just do this. It says the bucket you are attempting to access must be addressed using special endpoint. Please send all feature requests to this endpoint. All right. Let me see. Let's do every step. Let's just do the whole step, okay? You win. Let's do the whole step. From doing the whole step, we can figure out what went wrong. Alright, do the whole step, figure out what went wrong. Okay. Okay. We do set execution policy, remote sign, import module PowerShell, get module test path profile, new item. I'm gonna skip the 4 and 5 and 6. Yeah. Alright, let's do this. Set execution policy. We do that. Alright, let's do it. We set execution policy. Why? Step by step, we're gonna do it for him. We import the module PowerShell, which we've done before, but I'll do it again so you can get it. It works like a champ. We get the module so that we can see that if we have it. So you should have all this. If you don't have all this, you didn't install it properly, and that could be your problem. I'm not gonna move fast. I'm gonna take it slow. You should have all of that. I'm gonna skip test path profile. Test path profile. Well, let me just test it, but I'm not gonna create new item because I already have one. Because when I test path profile, it's gonna show me anyway. It's telling me true because I already had one. If it said false, and then I go to number 5 and I force it to create a profile, and then I go to notepad profile and then import module. That way, anytime my PowerShell is on, I can do it. I can interact with the S3 or any other services that's running in the cloud, which I have already imported. So it's important to understand the importation, what it's doing. It's importing an SDK that will allow you to leverage and work with other people's code. Now, with that being said, I will just go ahead and do the next level. The next level will be, maybe I have something meaningful already there that I can play with. Like write S3 bucket. Pay attention here, guys. And this is file. This is the file. This is the key, which is my bucket. And here I said something wrong. I said public, but it's supposed to be private. I think Agatha saw it before. Okay. So my access key is still the same. It never changed. And I'm not sure if I did anything about my access key. I did. I initialized AWS default configuration. Yes, I did that. And I indicated the location. Yes, I did that at the very beginning. So now, with this being said, I have the file. My file is here, KDP, and I'm actually in the temp folder. And all of this looks good to me. And as a matter of fact, I would like to check my access key. Not really access key. My vitals. I have to check that in this case, which is gonna be this S3 bucket. No. I want to check my IM. IM user. That way I can see my access key ID. Right. So the last 4 characters should be able to tell me what's going on with that. So I'm using this guy. So the last one, when I click on this, oh, there's another thing. We don't know if Edicon is in SDK group. We'll check that out in a bit. So for the credentials, when I look at the credentials, I look at this, okay? This is my stuff, KJPJ. So let's go to Edicon to see if it's in the right group. Okay, let's go to users actually. I am users. Edicon is here. So he is in the group, It looks good. All right. So now, with this being said, I have the private and I go, boom. Come on. Okay, I push the button there. I'm supposed to push the end, take the cursor at the very end and push it. So it's saying the bucket you are attempting to access must be addressed using specified endpoint. Please send all feature requests to this endpoint. All right, the last thing I want to check is my IM user, where it is located. I heard somebody say something about that. So let me actually check it, see if I'm at the right place. I could be at the wrong place, and I'm here wasting my flipping time trying to access it. So where is it at? Actually, my bucket is the one I'm supposed to be checking where is that.
Yeah. You're in Virginia. That's what I was thinking too.
My bucket is what I'm supposed to be checking. So I am in US East 1. That's our problem. I'm in US East 1. So guys, remember this. When something like this happens, you can record it in your log and say, okay, when I see this, somebody can actually screenshot this. I'll screenshot it and say, whenever you see that, know that you are not in the right location. Natalie mentioned that, but I didn't pay attention when she mentioned it. So now we can go here and take that screenshot. I'll change it later, okay? I don't want nobody to see my secret key, but I want to make sure somebody, it's a reminder to us, okay? And I'll just do edit. I'll just copy it, and then I go to Paint here. I put it in Paint. So guys, bear with me, stay with me. You will not, you'll be over before you know it, and you will be smiling all the way to the bank.
Yes.
You'll be smiling all the way to the bank. Man, you'll be like, this is the best decision I've ever made in my entire life. I know it's not easy to take this kind of classes. I know some of you have family and all of that. It's hard, but you'll be okay. You'll see. All right, I'm gonna push this guy to you guys. I'm confident this is the problem. So let's copy. All right, so let's go and fix our problem. Can somebody tell me how to fix this problem? I know somebody knows. Huh?
So I'm thinking you have to configure.
That's right. I have to initialize AWS configuration, default AWS configuration. Like right here, I have to go here and do US East 2, right?
East 1.
US East 1. So you couldn't find what we were looking for. So it's giving us all that problem. So I reconfigure it. Once I reconfigure it and go back and run that the same one that we just ran, it will just upload it. No question asked. It will upload it now. See, it's uploaded. So let's go and check it out. You see, we know for sure that's the problem. That's what makes you an associate architect or a technician. No, not a technician, sorry. What am I saying? An associate architect or a cloud practitioner or whatever, sysop admin or DevOps admin or SecDevOps or whatever it is. So right here, you can see that it's up here. Just like that. Just like that. Okay, this is what is uploaded. But it's not what I wanted it to upload, but he uploaded that.
Maybe you have to refresh the S3. Let's go back to your S3 and see if it refreshes.
Yeah, it's not what I wanted it to. If you look carefully, Agatha, you see right here.
Yes. Log test, yes.
Is the bucket name is log.test, then the file is KDP, JDP, then the key again is locked on test. That is the problem here. Bucket name is this. JPEG is
So,
that. The key again. So the key again is supposed to be this guy. I
yeah,
think.
under 10.
Control.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's two of them, but I just wanna put this one there because what is uploaded doesn't make sense if you look carefully. It uploaded this thing here. See? It uploaded this thing here. So when we go to the file that Agatha prepared, you will see clearly what I meant when I say that. So we go there and we look at it ourselves collectively together.
It's
Okay.
on Riot.
It's on
Name.
Riot. Just give me a second.
Yeah,
Let me
Riot.
get it. Oh yeah, it's on Riot. Yep, it's on Riot. Okay. You put it on Riot. Yep. The step by step is on Riot. So let me find it. I was gonna go to the book and get it, but it's also here. Also. It's way up there. Let me find it.
It's on under text resources.
Oh, it's on text resources? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go up. So the key assets, let me share this with you guys so everybody sees what we are doing. Okay. You see? Private key. So you see for yourself, we're not supposed to have that one there. You can see it for yourself. So the first one, the key is this, right? The second one is just this file. So what does that tell us, guys? That something is not supposed to be here, right? This is not supposed to be here. What is not supposed to be here, guys?
The log.test.
This is not supposed to be here. So does it look like what Agatha gave us or something now? Can somebody check? Or you want me to show you guys again? Does it look like this one now? The file is this, the canonical name, and all of that. Does it look like that?
Yes, sure.
So if it
Yeah.
does, then we'll find out when we do this. So when we do this, we've practically done it, and we're gonna go to S3 bucket and check. We're gonna have to refresh this one this time. Does it work now?
Yes.
Eddie Cole,
Yeah,
you good now?
I had to start all over again.
Okay, very good, smart man. You don't want to mix it up. You want to straighten it up from get-go so you can know it. So we have
Yeah.
an outlay of it. So most important thing is when you starting it out, you want to do initialize the AWS default configuration and make sure the location is the right location. If not, you're gonna have issues like that. Now we have a template of an error. The template of an error is clearly known to all of us. So whenever any one of us sees this, we can tell the person, hey, look, you're not in the right location for that S3 bucket. It's a proven fact because we did it right here. We saw it. We saw what it was. Okay, guys? So I think everybody's on the same page now. Now, what I need you guys to do now, everybody's on the same page, is to try hard to finish the CISSP documentation, complete it over this weekend. I mean, well, you have one day. Do the best you can to round it up. When we come back, we're gonna do some programming stuff in Python. I'm gonna lay down some Python background for you guys, and I want you guys to go back and start looking at those Python books that I gave you guys. We're gonna go through some stuff, control statement, all those variables, and all of that. It's simple. It's not hard. I'll walk you guys through it. I've already given previous videos on it. I think we're gonna wrap up on networking. The most important part of networking I wanted you guys to know is subnetting and about networking, how it come about and everything. And then subnetting part of it. If you're in the cloud, you don't do so much with networking anyway. But the knowledge of it is important. Core knowledge of it is important because when you go for the interview, you want to show that you know a lot of stuff. That you just don't know one thing. That you want to show when they ask you those questions, you want to bring it home and say, hey, look, I know this stuff. I'm not playing with it. I do know this stuff. So for the error that we encountered today, I'm gonna put it in the text area. I'm gonna just say that it's to solve it. I would say to solve, make sure location, make sure that the IM location the bucket location is the same. Bucket location is same as initializing when initializing AWS default, right? Default configuration, right, guys? You always have to do the AWS default configuration unless you put it in the notepad profile. But you don't have to put it in the notepad profile because sometimes you have different S3 buckets, right? So if you want to do for a different S3 bucket, then you're gonna have a problem. So to solve the above error, I think we should provide ourselves with this kind of solution so that when people have issues, we can just refer them. Can somebody start up a solution like a log for errors? So we're gonna say is server error. No, not server error. Just say AWS error log in capital, and then everybody will start putting all the errors that they know and capitalize and italicize it with the screenshot, so that when new people come in, we can say, "Oh, go to the error book log and see for yourself." Does it make sense? Do I make sense on that one? Janelle here?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh, okay, I can hear you.
I have a question in reference to the assignment. Do you want it uploaded in the document, or you just want screenshots in the submission, the homework submission?
Which one is that? The CISSP?
For the domains.
Oh, you have to go into the book and write it just like you write in a document.
Okay.
And put it there step by step, because what we'll do is, this is what I'm doing. This is my idea behind this. My idea behind this is when you write a paper, you must have read the paper. So if you must have read the paper and you put it there, then I'll go through it. The assumption is you already read the paper, you wrote it. So when I'm doing it, I come to 7 and 8, I'll go through it, and then I'll bring Janelle, Natalie, and Erica. I'll ask you guys questions. Like, it's not like I'm the teacher, I'm like, we're studying it together. But because you guys did that, then you guys will create an opportunity for others to ask questions and contribute to it, because we'll be interactive. We'll be talking about it. Then other people learn quickly and easily that way. Because it's like you guys are the ones telling us about it, because y'all wrote the paper, right? And I'm just here to coordinate it because I have more experience in it. Then when we finish, we go to 5 and 6, and I call the group for 5 and 6. We go through it. We do the same thing for 3 and 4. We do the same thing for 1 and 2, and we're done. So now every one of us has the experience on CISSP because we're studying together. Instead of all of you guys reading all that stuff, we piggyback off the brain of other people that have read it. And then we'll finish it real fast and we'll move to the next level. That's the system we're running here. We need to bootstrap real fast. So I need somebody to create a section for error and then start moving all the error stuff to it. I prefer that to be in the Google Drive instead of being on here. Google Drive, we'll make a book out of it and we'll give it to people to read. The next class is going to be free again. So you guys will make sure we get the right people for the next class, because the next class is going to be free and that's the last class. So I taught for a whole year for free. So that's that. So the next class, you guys will be contributors, being a part of it and helping and learning. So I don't know if anybody has heard from Judine. If Judine is here today.
Yeah, because I was wondering if everybody else is still in class in regards to the CISSP
So
project.
that's what's bothering me too. So in regard to CISSP, if everybody else is still not in class, then we need to find out quickly here. Judine might have been busy doing something because I know she's really interested in the class. I already know the story about Hannah and Cynthia. I don't know much about Cynthia's situation, but I wish she was still in class. Then the other gentleman, Laban, and the wife, Betsy, I don't really know much about what they're doing. I really would like to know because I sent them notes telling them that we missed them, that they should come to class. So I didn't hear anything from them.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything from them.
How about Nicole?
Nicole Robinson.
There's
Oh
somebody by
no.
the name Nicole.
Yeah, Nicole Robinson.
Yeah, because I know she's in our group 3 and 4. And
Yeah,
me and Charity just decided to do 3.
I haven't heard from them. This class is not a kind of class you have to miss any. If you miss any, that means you have to work twice as hard, which some of you guys have proven to be very great at. Some of you guys missed the class and come out as champions because we have a lot of materials. We have videos, we have stuff in Riot. If somebody's serious, they will go through it and they will pull it through. But if somebody's not serious, it's easy to see through the participations, you know. So that's what it is. So I think we'll wrap up this time. So the homework, I will push the homework out. It's going to be a simple question on networking. And after that, my assumption is we're done with networking. Once you guys do that homework, we're done. I'm not going to do anything about networking unless you guys think there's a topic we need to talk about, and we talk about it. And then the CISSP, once you guys submit the materials, if some people have done theirs and they feel like they have to do for others, as you can see, others are not showing up. That simply means maybe they have dropped. If somebody dropped, they're not going to come and tell you, right? Especially in a free class, they don't need to communicate nothing with you. So in that case, some people might do other aspect of it because at least people, when they're taking a CISSP, they read everything. So that's an opportunity to encourage yourself and push on. The opportunity here is immense. It's great. You get a referral from a real company that exists in the US. You get backed up, you build portfolio, you kind of enhance your resume. This is wonderful. I want you guys to know it. Okay?
We appreciate that, Josiah.
Okay, thank you.
So
Let's move forward and let's talk to our friends and encourage them to come. I know you might be thinking, oh, they are grown people, they have to decide their own life. Please, 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 if you meet them or talking to them, tell them to please come. It's important that they do this. We need this for the generations to come. And I really appreciate you guys being in class. And I thank you guys so much for sharing your time with me. And I want you guys to always remember that Lockdown LLC is the one making this possible, and each one is the implementation partner. And we want you guys to do the best you can. And we also thank the viewers who are watching these videos on a regular basis. Share the videos with other people and encourage other people to come to class. And I'll be signing off, and class is dismissed now. Thank you all.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
You too.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah, we did it.